Sunday rolls around and they're back on the screen. James and Dan, the wildest pair you've ever seen. Shooting up the airwaves, ready to ignite. Talking all things polar, they're live tonight. From pile-ups to gear and crazy ham hacks, you never know where the convo tracks. 1 minute it's antennas, next it's a dare. Welcome to the world of the wild on-air affair. It's Shenanigans, cranking up the sound. James and Dan taking Boulder to town. Talking crazy calls and late-night thrills. Tuning up the bands with the power and the skill. Shenanigans, you know it's never tame. Every Sunday night they're bringing the game. They're swapping stories about the wildest roads. Park to park, from the highs to the bros. Radio's failing, but they make it through. Working those stations, yeah, nothing they can't do. James says, late shift's the thrill of it all. Dan's like, watch this pile up, I'll catch 'em all. With gear on the table and coffee in hand, they're rocking Shenanigans across the land. It's Shenanigans, cranking up the sound. James and Dan taking Boulder to town. Talking crazy calls and late night thrills. Tuning up the bands with the power and the skill. Shenanigans, you know it's never tame. Every Sunday night they're bringing the game. From wild activations to DX trees, they're riding the waves, breaking all the beats. Maybe a bet on who's faster on the draw. No matter what they chat, they leave us in awe.
What is up, Fam Radio? Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zoo in November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Sunday. It is time for a little bit of shenanigans. And before we do get this great stream started, we're going to thank these guys, the Patreons. They are absolutely awesome people. And you know what? The list keeps getting bigger because everybody's figuring out the Patreon is where it's at. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Another list that gets bigger and also equally awesome people, the YouTube members. They will be in green in the chat or maybe a blue if they're an administrator. And then the ever-changing board.
Oh,
Once again, Josh back on top by a smidge with his big off-stream donation. Very big off-stream donation. And also an off-stream donation by Charlie Whiskey Bravo. Thank you guys very much. And Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Delta Victor did move up a spot as well.
Victor?
Thank you very much. And Dan, do your thing.
Was that Delta Victor?
Delta Victor, that would be him.
I think it was Delta Victor. Yeah. He sent me speaking of that, he sent me a video of him in the woods activating the other day. Well, the other day, a couple minutes ago. And he has found himself a nice sit-down spot. I hope he doesn't pick up a tick. But Andy Callie, good to see you. He was first in the chat again today. Kilo Oscar 4. Golf Bravo.
I don't know what happened there, Dan.
I don't know why he got rid of me. I mean, bye. Okay.
I kicked you out.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm back though. Kilo Oscar 4, Golf Bravo. What's happening, Mo? Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta, our Ham Hunters net control. Good to see you. KO4FSZ Antennas, Kelly Rose, KI4JAV, Ronnie, Kilo, Oscar 4, Zulu, Romeo
Zulu.
X-Rays in the house. That's right. You got to have the Zulu. Mike, 88KB, good to see you. Brian, the Truffle Butter is in the house. Happy birthday, Terry, Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec is in the house. Larry Bingham, Eastern Standard Time is in the house. Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec, happy birthday. November 4, Charlie Whiskey Bravo. Good to hear you, Craig. Let's see. Sidewalk Sherry, what's up? KE8YVD is in the house. Oh, Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec. Happy birthday, Terry. Gene McPhee from Killeen, Texas, and 3XUS. Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie. Good to see you, Chris. And Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec. Happy birthday, Terry. If anybody has not told Terry happy birthday yet, happy birthday, Terry. You're in the log. Twice.
You know what's really funny? I was doing 2 meters today in a park, and do you know I heard the call Kilo 8 Golf Quebec come over to 2 meters.
That's right.
I told him he was 5'9", but he wouldn't reply after that. But Kilo 8 Golf Quebec did come over 2 meters. So
he
I
had
don't know what was going on.
Birthday tropospheric ducting.
So, and I'll tell you what, I said I was out there doing 2 meters in POTA, and you're like, what? No way. I actually did 2 meters, 440, 220, and 6 through 160 at the park today, and got people on every band.
Yeah,
so that's the good thing about being here in Barrie. There's a lot of POTA people that's just surrounding the whole town that you can just smash you in any band in the park. But I got a lot of you guys on multiple bands today. I know 17 was absolutely on fire for me.
The funny thing about 17, for a moment, I had a brain fart, right? So I saw you spot on 17 meters, and I'm like, there ain't no way I'm going to be able to hear him in West Virginia. That's ridiculous. I'm not even going to turn on the radio. And then it dawned on me that, wait a minute, he's not in West Virginia. Like, I forgot you were in Canada. After all we went through yesterday, I forgot you were in Canada, and I turned on 17 meters, and I heard you plain as day. So,
hey, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, yesterday was an absolutely amazing day.
Long day.
Like, it was a long day, but it would have been a lot longer if I'd have been in the States, because I tell you that it definitely been a lot longer. But the hunters, let me tell you, probably half of y'all that are in the chat right now that were just hanging out. Now it's one of the biggest contest weekends of the year, and you guys were just absolutely amazing. We never did not have a frequency at a single park, and we're going to show some stats right here in a couple of minutes of the Rove, but we never had a single time that we pulled in. A lot of times I'd pull in and I'd listen to you guys sitting there talking, and I'd already have a list in my head of who was there. Because it was just absolutely great. And a lot of people was worried, they're doing a 50 park Rove, they're going to do 12 and out. And I said we're doing 12 and out because I'm used to an American, you go over 25 parks in America, you got to do 10 and out, 12 and out, and get moving. But when you guys see some of the stats that we pulled off at these parks and the number of contacts, because we didn't stop at 12. Matter of fact, we didn't stop until you guys stopped calling at each park. Now, mind you, we only were spotting on Discord, but everybody had the opportunity to join Discord. We've been talking about it for months, but you'll see when I show these stats in a minute. But I just really wanted to thank each and every one of you guys. You guys were awesome. A lot of you guys hunted us at all 50 parks, and that is just amazing. I enjoyed, driving to the next park. I was watching the picture room that I asked Dan to add. I'm so glad I asked you to add that picture room, Dan.
That's a lot of There's some good stuff in there.
It was great, man. Just seeing how everybody was sitting around and hunting us and stuff like that. The Roses having their little slumber party in the room and eating ice cream. It's just awesome stuff. And what was really cool is this thing was so much fun. You know, Andy don't hunt near as much as the rest of the Roses because he's working all the time and stuff like that. But he had said, he said, you guys have fun. I'm going to bed. But he didn't. He literally sat right there and he hunted every single park and he had a great time. So, it's great just to make our community grow and stuff even more. So it was amazing. I will tell you that.
We had fun holding frequencies. Like you said, it was sometimes it was rough because you say one of the most popular contests of the year. I'm going to say the most popular contest of the year is a sideband CQDX, the CQ Worldwide DX, and the next one's probably going to be CW CQ Worldwide. But I'm going to say the most popular contest of the year. We fought tooth and nail, especially on our 20 meters during the day to keep some of those frequencies. We did have to move a couple of times, but for the most part, Toby and everybody else did an awesome job keeping these frequencies. So I know my foot warmer got some workout. That's for sure.
We definitely tried to stay on 40 as much as we could because for the most part, when 40 was good, we was getting everybody that we needed to get. And we were still able to get, the people up here in Canada. But there did come a point where 40 meters just wasn't working anymore. There was a time when Larry called on 40 meters, and we all know that Larry is 20 over no matter where you're at. And Larry was like a 3-3 on us one time on 40 meters. And I said, wow. 40 meters is about done.
Yeah.
So, but it was an absolutely amazing time.
Yeah. And Charlie says our amps ought to be cleaned out. That is for sure, buddy.
And before you guys asked, yes, the logs are put in, but no, they're not all through. I just looked at POTA, and there's still logs are sitting there spinning. For mine, I know James's is all in because while I went out and activated today, he sat here and got everything done and got his in, but mine is still spinning. Therefore, you can't go by your percentage of hunts right now because it is nowhere near up to date. That percentage is going to change drastically. Brian says his logs are still processing as well.
And so if you do have a question about your logs from the road, make sure you email James in February of 2026 and he'll get around to them.
Yeah, 2026. Email me then and ask me about it because I'll remember that.
That's right. And he'll remember exactly who we got on what band and at what park.
It's really funny. You say that, but it might happen because I'll tell you what, we did an activation and Brian told me I missed somebody in there, and Brian was doing all the logging. He said, I missed somebody, and we were getting ready to go down the road. I said, all right, read me your list. And he went down the list of every single buddy. Now, I'm not logging at all. I'm literally running the microphone. And it was, I don't know, it's something we got like 30-some people at that park. And he ran through his list, and I said, you missed November 4, Charlie Whiskey Bravo.
Yeah.
just like that. And it was absolutely crazy.
There was a picture posted. There was a picture posted of him logging, and I found it fascinating myself because he had what looked like an external keyboard plugged into his phone. And it was on the back of the headrest there. I figured he would have had a laptop or a tablet or something. That is very interesting. No. It's very interesting the way he was doing it. I was intrigued.
Well, I think he does have a. I'm not sure. He can answer this. If it's his phone, it's an awful big screen.
Oh, okay. So it's a keyboard Bluetooth to his iPad. He said, okay.
There we go.
Maybe it was just the angle of the camera shot made it look smaller like a phone, but yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
But yeah, he stayed busy, that's for sure, logging.
Oh,
And
yeah,
my
I'd
voice
imagine.
was tired. My voice was tired from talking, and
Wouldn't it
Tom's
be
hand,
nice?
Tom's hands were tired from screwing in the antenna.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a
So,
logging program that you could have preset macros in or something, Brian, where you could just hit Rose family?
well, you know what? He has something where he's got a copy and paste job, and
Yeah.
he does really good with that. When Brian's logging, I don't have to stop when we hit the roses. He's good. If it's just if they change the number from 7 to 6, I have to tell him which one's missing. But that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
they
would be
had fun
cool
up.
to get
They had fun up there
to have
too.
a logging program, and when it pops up somebody that always hunts with another person,
Yeah.
it automatically says +1, +2. You know what I'm saying? That
They,
would be a great feature.
yeah, they had a blast up there. And anybody who hasn't seen the pictures, go over to our Discord. The channel will be around for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to archive them. I'm not going to get rid of the channel, but I am going to archive it to put it in our memories of the Rove. But the pictures channel is some great stuff in there. There might be a couple of pictures of me that you may have never seen too. Just saying.
If you're one of those believers that ham radio people don't have hair on the top of their head, you should probably go look at Dan Terra when he was hunting the other day. Oh,
Oh, that was
that
fabulous.
absolutely was. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Kelly says great picture, Dan. Speaking of
Yeah.
Kelly, she said on there the other day. She said, "I'm probably only at about 2%, but after that Rove, she's not at 2%. I can guarantee you that. It should be updated at some point tonight, Kelly. But what is updated? And we're gonna go ahead and bring this up here. Let's see if I can get this brought up. No, that ain't right. Let's Dan fix that.
Which one you want?
I want that to be bigger on the screen for them.
Oh, I
to
really
see it
can't
better.
make it. Well, I mean, I can probably do it like that.
Okay, that looks better right there.
Yeah.
All right, so this report you can go to the PZN at RFing around, and it's underneath the hyena report. But if you look right here, it's got all the stats. So actual drive time for the whole park was 12 hours and 9 minutes. That's actual drive time, nothing else. So
that's a lot of that
air
diesel.
time. On air time was 4 hours plus or minus 5 minutes. Total QSOs 1887 without the furs. So not counting the duplicates that we got for infers. 2476 with the furs.
Man.
So that's a little more than 12 and out, guys. Drive distance 729 kilometers, or for us real people, 453 miles. 105 liters or 28 gallons of diesel. 169.05 Canadian or 121.72 in diesel. And if you look over here, each park stats are right here.
This right hand column here is what I like. This is awesome, guys.
Like you can go to each park and see like you won't find a 12 and out. I can promise you that. Our average was probably around
35 or 40, I would say. But look how fast they were in and out. That far right-hand number is how many minutes they stayed there. And then the number just to the left of it was QSOs. You got one, like right there. They were there for 2 minutes at 5656 Eugenia Falls. 2 minutes, 35 contacts, and they were out. 2 minutes. Awesome.
So there's one in here that's kind of long. Yeah, the top one right here, but that's counting we got there early before the row started, so we did an early shift as well.
Yeah, that's right.
why it's a 46-minute stop.
Yeah, but look at that one.
Just us being there early.
Yeah, but your next stop, which was your second stop on the road, there 4 minutes, 41 contacts. That's just insane. And a big shout out for everybody who did hang around on the frequency. We jaw jacked a little bit, and some other activators came in too, in between the rove stops, and did a quick activation with the 15, 20 people that were hanging out on the frequency waiting for the three amigos and James. And a lot of activators came in, got their activation done, and moved on. So they never spotted on POTA either. So you missed a big POTA weekend, not just the 50 Park Rove, but a lot of others that stopped by in between rove stops and did their quick activation there.
Well, not only that, but just shout out to each one of them who was extremely professional. You know, they came in and activated on the frequency, but the second I came in, and you know, I would park to park immediately. And as soon as I got done with that park to park, they relinquished my frequency right back to me, and we moved on. And then you know they were welcome to go on or whatever. But it was just, again, you can't do well. I'm not going to say can't because somebody will prove me wrong. But to do a big rove like that without the support, it make life really really miserable.
I'm gonna say,
And I can tell you, like, this rove here, it was 51 parks is what we finished with, and we could have finished way more. Matter of fact, that was 51 parks. 1, 2, 3 times during that, I got out and went and, I won't say hiked, but went a considerable distance to see a site, and then came back and then started. Uh,
and at your last
the
park,
last park, I shot a YouTube short already telling you about before we even started the 51 park 51st park. You already knew we were done with the 50 parks. So,
and the last park you had a couple hours, I mean, there to kill. So yeah, that was awesome.
So, but now it's just a lot different like that in the States, I can tell you, because I worked a lot harder on my 42 park. But you know, it can be done. I can do 50 in the States. I can tell you, I had enough time to do 50 in the States when I did my 42 because I had extra time too.
With the support system behind you, getting back to that point, I don't think there's any way. It would be difficult to do a 30 if you had to spot on POTA.
Yeah.
I don't care what, I don't care where you are, unless you don't care and you spot on POTA, get 12 contacts and go QRT and you say the heck with everybody else calling.
Well, I won't say it's unless you don't care, because that makes you just sound heartless. But it's just unless you have the willpower. Like Bill Brown, if he says we're taking 12 calls an hour, well, he told me 10, and I refused to go with him until he agreed on 12.
Yeah.
But when we got to 12, he hit the power button on me. He would not let me get anybody else, and that was fine because it was his rove. You know, when you go with somebody else and you rove with somebody else and they set it up, it's technically their rove. So you're along for the ride. It doesn't matter. You know, even the king, you do it their way.
It takes a lot of planning too. The more parks you do, I mean, anybody can go out and do a 5 park rove, 10 park rove, and not even do any planning. But once you get into the 30s, 40s, 50s, now this is uncharted territory. We're in POTA record territory here, and eventually 60s and maybe even 70s. You have to do the planning ahead of time. You have to know what parks you're hitting, the distance between parks. How many miles per gallon you get, when are you going to do fuel stops for both your vehicle and your human body? Are you going to bring lunch with you? When are you going to eat? Who's going to log? Who's going to do? I mean, there's a lot of planning behind bigger roves.
Absolutely. And I've done several POTA rove forums at Hamfest and stuff like that. And anytime I do those, I always mention, because people's like, "Oh, you're so thorough." I'm like, "No, I'm not even thorough." And I always mention James, because James is very, very thorough when he does his roves. And he did an exemplary job. Like, when he was telling me, he's like, I was like, there's a lot of people worried they're not going to get us at 12 calls and stuff. I was like, first thing I asked you is, when the Roses say all 7, that's one call of the 12. And he agreed to that right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, no problem. That's one call. Because I didn't want to say, all 7 for the Roses. All right, I can get 5 more of you guys.
Or they come in a little bit later. Yeah, or they come in a little bit later, and you're like, okay, all 7 QRT.
but then, like, it was a day, maybe 2 days before, he's like figuring up the times and stuff like that, and he's like, we can stay longer at these rows. He says, I figured out all the time and stuff, and he's telling me this, and I was like, because again, I'm used to, even though I did the 4 rows since I've been here, they were like 20, 25, 27. And those are like doing daggone 7 park rows in the States,
Yeah.
But until I see, we got out there, and we, like, after the first 4 stops, I won't say 4 parks because the second stop was a 3-er. But after the first 4 stops, I was like, wow, we're way ahead of schedule, and we're like getting everybody just in the pile. Like,
I actually,
that first night,
the first 4
night,
or 5 stops were so fast. I actually thought that y'all were going to run a lot later and get more parks before you went back. Got a little bit of rest.
A lot of people messaged me and was like, why'd y'all stop? I'm like, we did 2 extra than he planned.
Yeah,
we did the first 2 stops on Saturday morning that night, and we could have, but
it was going by quick.
Canadians sleep more, other than Brian. I'm going to give Brian an honorary American award for his sleeping habits. Little quick quiz, or not quiz, little nice fact. So before the rove that we just spent 20 now, and I think I got 3 hours sleep during this rove.
That's plenty.
Because I can tell you it's under 4 hours, because I play a game on my phone and I can get energy every 4 hours. And I clicked all my energy before I went to bed. And the next morning when we got to the first park, I was right almost there, and I said, let me clear this energy. And I still had like 30 some minutes before I could clear it. I was like, oh, I guess I slept way less than I thought. But Brian takes American naps. He doesn't take the Canadian naps. But before that event, he had been doing I don't know how to say it. It's not a military contest, but the military's in it. The Mars people are in it, and the Sea Mars, I think it is from Canada, are in it. And he had been up for like 50 hours minus a couple hour nap during the day. Military HF contest. Okay, easy enough to say. So he was working on a couple hours sleep when we started the nap, and he still had to deal with the logs.
There you go.
Ran by the Canadian military.
That's right. What was all right? So I imagine it looked to be windy in your video that you posted at Park 51. What about weather? Was it cold, hot, comfortable, windy? Anything uncomfortable about the road?
Well, luckily it was a rove, so we were in the truck the whole time, except for we sat in the truck the last activation, even though we ran a wire too. So I mean, we got out and we did do some walking. They showed me a really beautiful waterfalls. I got some pictures. They might already be out on Instagram. I don't know, but it was comfortable. But there was a lot of rain during a lot of the parks. Tom did get wet. Tom got sandblasted. You talking about wind? So the video that I put out last Thursday, that beach that I was activating on. Mm-hmm. When we got to that one that night, that wind was whipping, and Tom opened his door, and I kind of opened mine, and I shut it really quick because you could feel the sand being blasted on you, and Tom was just getting sand blasted putting the end down.
There's no more paint on the side of the vehicle; it's just all gone. Yeah. That is crazy.
And okay, so another thing up here in Canada, it reminds me of Kansas because you'll be driving along on a paved road, and then all of a sudden it turns into a dirt road out of nowhere, and you drive forever on a dirt road, and then it goes back into a paved road. But their dirt roads here are like really well maintained, and I mean you can drive probably 50, 60 miles an hour or better. Well, I'll say I know better on these roads up here that are dirt. And I was telling him, I was like, man, in West Virginia, you wouldn't have no intestines driving anywhere near this fast on these
Absolutely.
roads. So he did go out of his way to make sure and find me a West Virginia dirt road, and I think I lost my spleen on it, and I'm pretty sure he has some of my organs for sale on the black market now.
So it wasn't like some of the dirt roads down here as well. Because when me and JLN went on a road down here, there was one little trail we went up to try to find a park, and it started to get really, really 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 sketchy in my truck, and we almost got to the point where we couldn't even turn around on this trail. I mean, there were huge little drop offs and stuff like that. We decided, nah, this park can wait. So it sounds like a hard packed dirt gravel. Makes good riding.
Yeah, it was really it's pretty impressive. Just like that number right there. I didn't realize it was that much fun. Good Lord.
96 hours with 13 hours of sleep. Jeeps.
So that's counting the road though.
Yeah. FSZ, the logs are still processing. So that's probably why right now. The POTA machine is chunking.
JLN's logs were in before I even got back from the park activating today. Mine just started shortly before the stream, and they're sitting there spinning. A lot of mine are in, but the ones that are in are up to date on the PZN thing. He did update that for what logs were in before he left. So yeah. Brian says the first 72 hours was no sleep. Got to stop doing myself like that.
And that is crazy. I don't know. I sleep like a Canadian, man. I love my sleep. It's getting to that time of year too, where they kind of fatten up for the hibernation. So, I mean, that might be what it is.
I'll tell you what, Dan, you if you ever come up here, there's a place called Princess Auto, and you need to go there because it is the mixture of Harbor Freight meets Rural King.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, which is two of my favorite stores to go in.
Do they have Apache cases?
Minus the live chickens. You can't buy the live chickens up there, but Rural King's got them on that. But
do they have?
They don't have I didn't see Apache cases, but they have a lot of cases similar to Apache cases, and they had. I'm going to say my Rural King or my Harbor Freight doesn't have near the collection of sizes that they have. They had a lot of cool sizes in there, and I probably would have spent a lot of money in there if I didn't have to think, well, how am I going to get that stuff home? So,
right. I mean, you already got to worry about how to get a moose home.
Yeah, I know. I did happen to find some orange night eyes there.
Nice.
I have about every color night eyes that you've ever seen, and I found some orange ones actually. They're laying back there. And then the green cutting board that I do my filming on for stuff that's never big enough. I found a bigger board which I hope will fit in my suitcase.
We have a very important Shenanigans question from Whiskey Zero Charlie Golf Charlie.
Oh God, here it comes again.
Poutine. When?
No. It's gotta be within the next couple of days.
I know.
It's gotta be either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday because I'm not eating poutine on Thursday before I get on a plane.
We need the Ham Radio Adventure Guy poutine food critic review. poo in a tin. Yeah, yeah. At least you didn't say poo in a teen, because that'd have been really weird.
He fusses about everything I talk about up here, how I say it. So it doesn't matter. I'm not Canadian enough.
Hey, Kelly says it's good stuff. You better get some before you leave.
I want to listen. They've told me what's in it, and there's nothing wrong with anything in it. I love everything that's in it, so I don't see why I would not like it. But they have not taken me yet, and they still owe me homemade ice cream from the dairy up here too.
Okay, so David's question came before Charlie's questions, but they are somehow related. Did you take toilet tissue with you?
For the Rove?
It's not. I don't know exactly what that was for, but it came right before Charlie Golf Charlie's question about the poutine. So they could be related.
I'm gonna assume James has some in his truck.
He has everything in that truck.
I actually hit a bathroom, an actual bathroom, when they were gassing it up.
Did you kapow it?
No, I can't kapow like Robbie.
You didn't.
Robbie's got
you
that
didn't do a
kapow
Robbie.
going on.
Yeah. So you didn't do
No.
a Robbie move. Yeah.
No. See,
Robbie hit a couple islands yesterday.
You know, Robbie actually was one of the activators who come through and got my frequency. So I was able to get one of those islands yesterday with the park to park with him. So that was pretty cool.
That's a good one to have, because those two he hit are a couple of the rare sparks that are activated. So that's awesome. Hola, Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar is in the house. That's Georgia Parks and Propagation. Ron Chris.
Recreation.
Ron Chris. Yeah. Mike says you're landing in Charleston on Halloween night. You're brave.
I am landing in Charleston on Halloween night. Well, it's not like if they're going to throw eggs at the plane, they're going to have to be in the trees. I'm brave for landing in Charleston. Period, Mike.
Period. I was about to say period. Yeah.
It's the part of this trip that I've not looked forward to the most is landing in Charleston, because that's a very short runway, and everybody tells me that basically you see yourself in the air and all of a sudden you see trees flashing by the window, and I do have a window seat, by the way. So
he's not home yet, David, but he does have an emotional support animal tag for the moose. He just needs to acquire said moose so he can bring it.
You know, it's funny because I think they're hiding the moose. They're scared I'm going to take it, because we did, while on that Rove, find a park that is quite possibly fresh moose poop, but it was not in the system yet. So I just missed a moose there. We'll see if that one pops. I'll know that they were hiding a moose.
How'd you know it was fresh? Did you poke it with a stick, or did you pick it up with your hand?
Oh, because I looked at the steaming pile, you know, and according to the steaming pile that was right in front of that map, it looked like a new POTA park to me. But
there you go.
We'll see. No, it's gonna be in a check cage, Larry.
There you go.
But I'm not going to check it at the terminal. I'm going to bring it to the door and be like, I need to check this. Oh, I do not plan on licking the moose, Brian.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird. About. Yeah.
Honestly, I will give.
Go ahead.
No need to worry until you see trees.
Trees in the
cabin.
Trees
in the cabin.
Okay.
Oh,
in the cabin of the airplane.
The cabin of the plane.
Yeah. That is funny.
Yeah, emotional. The emotional support animals are allowed on planes. I'm not sure they've ever tried to accommodate an emotional support moose. I'll tell you what, I tried to see some bear yesterday because there was definitely a nice bear trap there. We got to actually watch the salmon spawning at one of the parks yesterday.
Huh.
Actually got some video of it. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. Lots and lots of salmon.
Yeah. The Rove logs are clogging up the whole system. PP Man said that his log upload's spinning too.
Yes, they probably are. Well, the thing is maybe me and Brian may have put ours in at the same time, evidently. So it may be clogging the system.
Brian has
Brian
13
says
more
he
to
only
go.
has. Okay, I you know what, I can look and see. I'm not even 100% sure all of mine are in there because it was spinning so fast I couldn't even catch them. But I will look while we're sitting here on stream and see what it's showing for mine. But regardless, the stats won't be updated on the PZN thing until later tonight when James goes home.
Actually, don't even look, man, because if you load your log page, it still takes about 4 minutes for the dang thing to load, whether you're uploading or not.
No, I'm just going to go to my uploads.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, your upload. Terry says he has the salmon joke for after 10 o'clock. Oh, Terry. Oh, Terry. Terry, by the way. Yeah, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, by the way, buddy. Happy birthday. I don't know if I told you.
Okay, you know what?
Are they all in?
Unless I'm going to count them and make sure, but I think they're in.
Nice. So
You know what,
Brian's are still spinning. His will be done shortly, and then give it a while for people's stats to update because I think the big brain in the cloud is screaming right now. So
I think that I like that number.
It's probably spun up an additional 6 dB instances by now to handle this, but
and I will count mine after stream and make sure that all mine is, but I would definitely wait a little bit longer before I put today's twofer in as well. So, but I just looked at it right now. It's showing me at 846 unique parks.
So. Robert wants to know how many QSOs they ended up with. Robert, let me drop this link again. Go right there, buddy, and have all the stats. Might not be 100% updated right now for the big Rove, but the you go over to Hyena report.
Now the stat, if you go to the Hyena report, those stats are what the total numbers are. I think it was like 1876 without counting the furs, Robert.
1887.
Oh, Brian said he put his in at the same time.
Gene just got a new G90. Those are awesome radios. Let me know. Just report back in, say next Shenanigans, and let us know how it's holding up for you, and let us know every Sunday thereafter, because some of the older ones are built like tanks. The newer ones, it's kind of hit or miss from what I've been hearing. So really curious how well it lasts. Nice little radio, man. If I was into something of that size and 20 watts, I'd definitely get one, but I personally just have no need for one. I've used one before and I like it. Good little radio.
I can't speak for the new ones, but I can say the older ones, the tuner will tune anything you want it to.
It'll tune a pile of moose poo.
One more Rove. I don't know.
I thought you were doing a 60.
Huh?
Thought you were doing a 60 tomorrow. What? A 60.
No.
Oh.
Tomorrow we're going down to Hamilton and doing the Hamilton meetup and doing some other parks down there. Not so much a Rove. There will probably be There will probably be 2 days of 3 to 5 parks with me and Tom while James is working. That'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's the thing I did want to talk about, and I will mention this on the stream Wednesday. If you're in the PZN challenge, to get me for Thursday, you will have to get me late shift Wednesday night after the stream. That is, I will be leaving here at 9 p.m. and going to do a late shift because the flight times is not going to allow for me to touch Thursday. I'll land if there's no delays, I'll land in Charleston at 7 o'clock, and I'm not going to chance getting to a park by 8. So, because who knows how.
Fair warning.
You definitely want to get me Wednesday night if you were in the PZN challenge, or anybody that wants to get me. But everybody else definitely needs to, because that will be my only activation for Thursday. And then Friday, I'm going to do a rare park in West Virginia, US 1810, because it's been missed. And I heard a Canadian took over the top spot while I've been gone.
I saw that. I pulled up the stats not long ago. Yeah.
Okay, all of Brian's is now processed into the system.
Yeah. Brian's is in there.
And
I can't wait to get 1810.
And even though this trip is almost over, this year's adventures are definitely not over, because I'm still planning. I've been working very hard on planning, and then realizing how much money it's going to cost me to do this bike road coming up, because I'm going to have to get some stuff for the bike for one, and number two, I've decided I'm going to have to get one of those little satellite texting devices to where I can text, because I can't pack. There's no way I can pack a Starlink on a bike. If you've seen the case of my Starlink, you'd know it weighs more than me and my bike. So that's the big buy right there.
David said you built a fire in him. He's going to do a 1 park rove. He's going to rove around the park.
Hey, I got one of those rare David sideband QSOs not kind of recently.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cross mode, did I thought I heard CW trying to get you on 17 today? Did you hear that?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, I got several cross mode contacts today, and some of them were not people who. Matter of fact, I don't think any of them were people who normally crossband me. Whiskey 4 Good Sugar got me cross mode.
Nice.
There was a club station that I don't know that's ever even been in my log before got me cross mode, which just blew my mind. I'm like, how would you know that I do CW to even cross mode me? So it has to be somebody that watches this show or watches my channel that's in that club, but I did get it. Are the latest percent? No. The percentages, if you're talking about the individual percentages for people, no. None of the parks that just went through the system is in there. So that'll change drastically tonight. There will be a lot of people that are below 73% jumping up above 73%. And then they won't be the final numbers, because I've still got 1, 2, 3 more days of activating here. And all of Hamilton will be brand new parks. And depending on where I'm at with my Canada Kilo, a lot of Tuesday and Wednesday will be new parks, hopefully.
Bang Bang is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Mr. Bravo.
That's right. Our Duke of Alabama.
He learned. Poda didn't teach him how to read. He already knew.
That's right.
Oh. Number one stop in West Virginia for me is going to be the eye doctor, though. I've talked about it a couple of times, but my vision's gotten. I don't know what it is. I'll blame the flight. Maybe my eyeballs popped in a weird way or something. Who knows?
It's that Canadian air, eh?
It might be. It might be the paper straws.
You know?
I think the paper straws has messed with my eyes. Although, listen, the Canadian Mexicans, they're smart. They still use plastic straws here. You go to the Mexican restaurant, they still using plastic straws.
A paper straw can't last all that long in liquid, though. Does it get mushy after a while?
You know, well, I normally drink mine pretty quick, but yeah, it's going to. I see people going through a couple straws sometime. But here, you know what? Let's do a Molson rant. Okay, the paper straws are, better for the animals, better for the environment. You're serving it in a plastic cup.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
What's the difference here? Come on, y'all.
Oh my goodness. You figured they'd serve it in a paper cup?
That's what I said. It was funny. I went to one restaurant with James, and he said, "Yeah, this is my buddy from America." She said, "Well, I'm not gonna waste my time giving him a paper straw then."
Terry has a burning question. Terry, by the way, happy birthday. He wants to know, can you blow the paper off of the paper straw?
I have not tried because normally I'm too busy trying to determine if I've got the straw open or if I've still got to open more, Terry.
or if you start peeling the actual straw itself and unraveling it.
Dude, the first time I went to open one, I sat there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, why the heck is this paper not coming off?
And everybody around the table is looking at you like you're stupid.
I'm like, what is wrong with this thing?
And you end up with a little straw.
So Terry, it's a paper straw. You can probably just throw the whole thing at somebody.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my straw and stick it in my mouth and go.
Spit the whole straw at them. Oh, that's great. Bobby, I see you and everybody. Whiskey Echo 4 Bravo Echo says, good evening, everyone. Like, if I can find it, I'll put it up here, Bobby. There you are. Good evening. I wasn't able to hunt you guys. Helene destroyed my antenna. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Another on the way. Hopefully, not much damage other than that. And as I've always said, stuff like that can be replaced. I'm glad you're here still to comment, though. That means you're still alive, and that's good. We can replace all the material things, buddy.
So speaking of that, if there's anybody that's down around, say, Tallahassee, Florida area that does POTA, well, I know Dan is, but you ain't been down there lately since
I haven't been down there since Canadian James came down. Yeah,
I'd like to know the conditions of the parks that are around that area.
Oh, well, no, I did go on a little rove since then. There were a lot of trees down. One of the parks was actually closed because of high river and trees across the way. All the other ones that I saw were open. My home park here is closed. Banks Lake, I believe, is closed as well. But the other ones I could get into, all of the WMAs, the Nature Reserve, the Florida Scenic Trail. Obviously, you can't really close the scenic trail. You can still get on it, but
well, I can get 80% on the scenic trail down in Lakeland. Well, I'm thinking. First off, thank you very much for the super chat, and yeah, happy birthday, Terry. Is it Kivo Lake Golf Quebec's birthday?
I believe. I believe it was yesterday, but it's still happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Terry. Man, you should have told somebody. We just told you happy birthday.
Yeah. Robert says here in the Tampa area, many of the parks are closed, but slowly opening up.
Okay, so Robert, how about February? You think you're gonna be good to go in February?
Yeah, I think they'll be good in February. Just mostly just the trees down, and
Well, so
my home park was technically closed when I activated it last, and the ranger came in and says, "Hey, y'all ain't supposed to be here. The park's closed." I was like, and there wasn't no sign saying it was closed. He goes, "Yeah, we're trying to get some to put up at the entrance and stuff." But he let me stay for a little while, finish up.
I'm thinking of a little road when I come down this year. I'm gonna go up to around Tallahassee and get some parks, and then I'm gonna cut over, and I'm gonna. Well, I wouldn't plan on stopping in Alabama because I have Alabama, but I noticed that right there in Mobile is the Battleship Park.
That's Mobile.
Whatever.
Kanawha.
Mobile.
Kanawha.
You know, I don't trust anything you say because you call Kanawha Kanawha. So
no, it is Mobile.
We're gonna call it Mobile. Anyway, but I noticed the Battleship Park there, so I figured I'd stop and hit it. And then I'm going to go over and hit a Mississippi and a Louisiana to get those out of my way.
That's Mississippi and Louisiana. Louisiana.
No, that's actually Mississippi and Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana.
And then way down there, Louisiana, we down here down by you, and we did talk like them people in Mino, Danny.
Get some shrimp gumbo down in there. While you're in Louisiana, make sure you get some good shrimp gumbo. That is right. That'd be a nice little trip up there. Yeah, there's lots of parks. Not lots and lots, but there's a good selection of parks around Tallahassee. You can make your little 5 or 10 park road if you really wanted to.
Well, yeah, it's more about getting those 2 states out of my way than anything. Although, like I said, we'll just wait till my Gulfstream, but I will be concentrating on newer parks this year probably. Because it's looking like I'm gonna be in position to make that goal for next year. So it's still good. If I'd make it, it's still gonna be work for sure. Because it's hard for me to get them.
I could have had Mississippi. I mean, I guess we could have done it in Huntsville, but I don't think we really wanted to drive, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, same. Every year I go to Huntsville, I say I'm going to just go ahead and head over here and get Mississippi, and I never do.
It's not 3 or 4 hours there. I'm talking about like total driving distance time, and yeah. But last time, year before last in Huntsville, I did scoot up a half an hour or so and grab Tennessee. So
I'm really confused. I'm hoping Gene's talking to you. He says, "How's your imaginary friend doing?" Is that your imaginary friend, Dan?
He's fine.
Dan's.
Yeah.
Okay. He
Shut up. Ah.
No, he's fine. He's good. He's just hanging out. The hell's wrong with me?
He could have been talking about Terry because somebody told me it was Terry's birthday. And if it is your birthday, Terry, happy birthday.
Yeah. Speaking of Terry, y'all. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Terry. Y'all did. If you weren't in on the chat between the road stops on the radio and hanging out with us, Terry did. Terry did actually take a bath. Maybe on the radio. And that's all I'm and that's all I'm going to say about that. You can't miss a road stop, and you do have to maintain your hygiene. So the dude wipes were not cutting it. But we had fun.
Okay. He said the lady friend. I think he's talking about Clarice.
Oh, Clarice.
Clarice is definitely not imaginary though. So if he's talking about Clarice, Eastern Standard Time would have to comment on her because she sort of fled to North Carolina since the Terry incident.
Well, she lost her damn hand in her eye. What do you expect her to do?
We call it the Terry incident. We're correct, politically correct here.
Yeah, it wasn't an accident. It was an incident.
We can't be saying it's just a decapitation, eye poking, and all that good stuff.
Michael says she is alive and well.
We're not going to mention that she had a tattoo on her butt that said "I love Terry" either.
But
anyway, we are at the top of the hour, and it's been really fun tonight. You know what? One more time, thank you every single hunter who hunted us. Thank you every single person who held the stream. Brian's having trouble with his YouTube or something. Anyway, but thank you very much for everybody who understood and held frequencies and everything you guys did. You know, and you know, I don't think I don't think I heard anybody complaining because everybody had an opportunity to get on this rove. Do not expect that on roves in the future because if they're happening in America, I cannot promise those. And I do have some big roves planned for next year. Not quite that big, but I do have. I've got plans for some roves, and for sure. Even I was challenged to a Lion CW rove.
That's right, you were
as well. So that'll be something for next year for sure. But anyway, that's it. I am going to get off here and check and see if all my logs are in, and if they are, I'll go ahead and drop the 2 from today. So when James comes back, he can finish all the stats for you guys. And sometime tonight, they should be up to date, and you can see what percentage you all are at. But remember, don't forget, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm still in Canada. That they still count. So make sure and don't forget those, and try to get yourself the highest percentage you can. And I guess I'll have to be printing coins when I come back. Anyway, thanks for the super chat, Chris, once again. And we'll catch everybody on the air and on all the video drops this week. 73, everybody.
See you guys.